to my kings, queens, and in-betweens. I'm Valerie, and welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. So today's video, I'm going to be going over some of the books on my physical TBR that I feel are a higher priority for me to get to sometime this year. I did get one of my bingo squares checked off for cataloging my physical TBR. I currently have 203 books that I physically own that have not been read. So some of them have been on there for a really long time, some of them not so long. Some of them are soft DNFs, and I'm gonna go over a bunch of stuff like that. Alright, so first off, I'm gonna go with an author I have a couple of books from on my physical TBR, and that is Nivo. I've got The Empress of Salt and Fortune. It is the first book in her series of short stories that are featuring this storytelling monk, I think. Hang on. Okay, so I don't really know what this is about. I thought I knew. But that's okay. I don't feel like I need to know what I'm getting into with this one. It's so well beloved, and it's loved by several creators who I share some similarities in what I appreciate in a story. And because it is so short, I don't really want to know a ton about it. Apparently it's something about a royal that's been displaced by something. I don't know. I just kind of skimmed over the synopsis on the back. So I want to read that. And then another book by Nivo that I own is Siren Queen. It's one of the Book of the Month editions, and I have heard a lot of really good things about this book. From what I understand, this is supposed to be the story of a Hollywood woman who passes for white. She's Asian and passes for white, I think. I should stop saying what I think things are and just read the back flap or whatever. So I was right about the Hollywood starlet, wrong about the white passing, I guess. I didn't see anything about white passing on the inside flap, but from what I understand, she is an unlikable female main character, which honestly is my cup of tea, and it is sapphic, and it is following her as she makes her way into stardom, and what that means, and the cost of that, and what it looks like for a woman of color in Hollywood, what it used to look like, and probably what it still currently looks like to a certain degree. And then the next one I have is a release from last year, Pinata by Leopoldo Gout, or Gout. I don't really know. Gout, I think. And I honestly, I picked this up based off of an interview with him that I heard on the Books in the Freezer podcast. He just sounds really fascinating. It looks like it's supposed to be a possession story, but it is based off of the trauma caused by colonialism in Mexico, and the past coming back to haunt you, literally. And it follows a mother and her children, and I know at one point she actually leaves Mexico and goes back home to New York, and it follows her home, and so that's one of the scariest things to me when it comes to like ghosts and possession stories, is the idea of it not necessarily being grounded or bound to a location, but able to follow you home. It's terrifying. So I'm really wanting to get to this. I've had it since it came out, and I really want to get this read. And next up, I have a book by Rebecca Roanhorse, Tread of Angels. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get to this. Rebecca Roanhorse is one of those Insta-buy authors for me. But for whatever reason, I just haven't picked this one up. And I really, really, really want to get to it. It is about angels and demons and kind of like an urban fantasy setting. And sisters, and I'm not really sure the details, but again, it's really short, and I don't know that I want to know very many details going in. But I have had this for quite some time. I had to literally dust this one off. So I really want to get to this one soon. And then I've got a couple of books that are soft DNFs that I do really want to pick back up and finish reading. One of them is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So I first picked this up back in 2020. I started to read it, and I got through the very beginning. I want to say like 3 or 4 chapters. But then my mood changed and I set it down and never picked it back up. And so, I didn't dislike it at all. I was enjoying what I was reading at the time. And for whatever reason, when I set it down, I just never picked it back up. So I will be, trying to get back to this year and get it read. And then another book, basically the same story, Bone Spindle. The Bone Spindle by Leslie Vedder, or Vedder, and I was really enjoying this. I thought that the writing was very interesting, and something just fell out of the book. Apparently, I have a sticker in there. Okay. Anything else? Anyway, I was really enjoying this. I think I just got distracted by another book and I never managed to come back to this one. So I would really like to get back to this one and see how that ends. Because I think I got pretty far into this. I think I read like the first third. And I just never did get back to it. So that is on my priority list of picking back up. This is a book that I picked up in a book box that was on sale because it was the last one from that series, and they just wanted to make sure it got sold. This is from Pixie Forest Publishing. It came with some other books and apparently quite a lot of cards for Pixie Forest Publishing. There was a mug in there and everything. I don't know. It was a really fun box full of horror, and this series, Fangs and Broken Bones, a Feed Your Monster anthology, is a bunch of short horror stories, and I think this would be a really good one maybe for Summerween or when I'm really feeling like a quick shot of horror. But yeah. The only problem I have with this is that it doesn't have anything on the spine, and so it's just black, so it just kind of like disappears on my shelf, and I don't see it when I'm scanning my shelf for books. So part of why I want to make it a priority is so that I can remember that it exists and get it, read. And then this book is a book that I won on Goodreads. Just one of those bazillion giveaways that I enter, and I actually didn't even know that I won this one until it came to my door. I guess I missed the email notification or something. I don't even remember putting in for this one, but it is nonfiction, I believe. It looks like this is nonfiction. It is somebody collecting the love stories of lesbians throughout the ages and putting them into one volume. I really, really want to read this. I probably would have read it before it came out had I realized it was gonna be on my doorstep, but at the time that I had it, I was in the middle of like 5 different books, and I never did get to it. Honestly, I am really wanting to get more nonfiction, specifically queer nonfiction, so this is on, checks a few boxes for what I'm wanting to read going forward. And then this next book is one that I have had for quite some time. It came out in 2020. I have had this on my radar since it was first even being talked about. I read the short story in her short story collection, How Long Till Black Future Month, and it has a short story that I believe is a prequel to this in it, talking about the different embodiments of the boroughs in New York City as the city is coming to life, and the kind of last minute attempt on the part of evil forces to take down the city before it even became. This is following those characters, I believe, and the city's journey into becoming. And I love sci-fi, I love N.K. Jemisin, and I really want to get this picked up and read. And I also want to read the sequel to it. I believe it is The World We Make. And I mean, look at this cover. How amazing is that? And N.K. Jemisin is just such a bamf, and I love the way that she writes. I love the way that she thinks and the worlds that she creates. So really, really want to get to this one. Then I have Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. This is a book that I wasn't sure about at first. I didn't even pick it up when it was originally part of the Book of the Month picks, because I'm not big on thrillers, but one of my former book club friends, like, we're still friends, we're still chatting online, but like, we don't really do the book club thing anymore. Anyhow, she has a very similar reading taste to me, and she very much enjoyed this one. So I'm going to give this a try. The characters are definitely compelling to me, or the premise is really compelling to me. It is the two homophobic fathers of sons who were married and murdered because of their homosexuality, and so they are basically on a road trip, a murder road trip, to avenge their sons, and they are grappling with their homosexuality. They're grappling with their homophobia and what that led to in them losing their sons. And so that's something I'm definitely interested in picking up. I don't want to let it sit for too long. Another book that came out last year that I really wanted to get to but didn't is Lone Women by Victor LaValle. This is a short horror story set in the old Western frontier era. This is following one of the lone women who were taking advantage of the government program granting land to lone women to incentivize them to come out west and help settle the land and bring women west. And this also features her mysterious trunk that anytime it opens, people around her start to die. And that is all the details that I have about this book, and I have been told that that's all I should know going in, because it is so short, and the experience would be spoiled if I knew more about it. And then I have a couple of banned books that I've picked up recently that I want to get to this year, the first of which is Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. I have talked about this before in a previous banned books video, and I know that it is not going to be the easiest book for me to read because it is about somebody wanting desperately to be different than what they are so that they can feel pretty or accepted or like they fit in. But I definitely feel like I should have read this at some point during my education, and it never was an assigned book. And so I'm assigning it to myself. And then this is another book that is massively banned, and that is All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. They wrote this quite a few years ago, I want to say. So this came out in 2020, and since then it has been banned in several schools and libraries. From what I've heard, this is a great book, and anything that people want to ban is something that I do want to read myself and see what the fuss is about, and I'll report back to you when I get around to it. Alright, going back to books from last year that I never got to, this is The Last Word by Taylor Adams. This is another thriller that I am taking a chance on. I picked it up around the same time that I picked up The Writing Retreat, and I picked it up for similar reasons, because from what I understand, this is surrounding an unhinged writer who possibly is stalking somebody who he got into it with online over her review of his book. And I'm thinking this will have enough of a touch of horror to it for me to be entertained, and the reviews I've seen of it sound like it may actually be a thrilling thriller. We'll see. It's a 50-50 on whether I'm going to like this one, I think, but I do want to figure that out this year. Next up, I have The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. This is a YA murder mystery that features some horror tropes, I believe. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I am wanting to go into this one a little bit blind. I have Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott. This is a modern fairy tales-ish style story, I believe, and it's featuring some of the lore surrounding Baba Yaga. And basically it seems like there is these brother and sister characters inherit a house, and as you can see from the cover, it's a bit more than just a house. Alright, and this is a book that I picked up for the cover. Basically, it just says, "Good Girls Bite Back" on the little subheading here. And that intrigued me. And it looks like it's probably going to be a classic monster story. I'm guessing from the castle it's probably Dracula, but I guess it could be like a werewolf story. I don't know, but I like the idea of good girls biting back. And then this is a book that I have had for quite some time, Gear Breakers. It is a mecha, like, robot story, and it's sapphic. And I have seen many booktubers and book talkers raving about how great they think this book is. There's a whole lot of I don't know what I'm getting into with these books going around, but I really think this will be a fun book. And then this is a sapphic fantasy read that I picked up. I pre-ordered this when it first came out, I think in 2022, 2021. Oh, okay, so this came out last year. But I probably pre-ordered it in 2022. But it's a debut, and I remember that the pitch was really intriguing. I don't remember what the pitch was, but it was good enough for me to pre-order this. So that's where that came from, and I really need to get to that. And then this next one is actually the newest addition to my physical TBR, and that is Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. Chuck Tingle, if you don't know, writes a lot of satirical, erotic fiction, short stories like Pounded in the Butt by My Own Existential Dread, I think is one of the titles that he's written. And so they're all very satirical, very out there, and extremely erotic. But this is his first foray into horror, and from what I have seen, it is well done, and I'm really interested to see what this has in store for me. So those are the priorities in my physical TBR, and I have another 180 books beyond those that I need to get to. So this is where I'm going to be starting off on that particular project. And I am glad that I finally have it all on one place and one list on Goodreads, so that I know what I'm looking at, how long it's been there, and I have something that I can scroll through to pick my next read and know that I have the book on the shelf at home. But if you are interested in any of these books, or if you have any opinions about which ones I should get to first, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more from me. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper sycamore tree. Dream a little dreamer. Hi, Thor. What? Are you okay? Can I help you? What's going on? Thor, come here. Come tell me what's wrong. Come here. Come on. Hop up. Come say hi. No, you can't have tea. What's up? What's up? Can I help you? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Can I help you? Oh, stop that. No, sir. In a Goodreads giveaway, my dishwasher. Stop. Don't make that face. So rude. And then I have a couple of banned books that I have picked up.
What?
I'm just waiting. Do your thing. Because you're making noises.
Is it picking up?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's okay though. Why are you making faces at me?
I would never do that.
Lies. Stop looking at me.
Hockety pockety.
Hockety pockety. Horror aspects. Okay, go fight not here. Some of the folktale features regarding that witch that flies around in a mortar. What is her name? Honey, what's that Russian witch?
No clue.
With the steel teeth. Baba Yaga. Okay.
Jaws.
Jaws. And then this is a book that I can't hold on to because my hands don't work. Okay.